Good evening. ATCO Gas proposed their franchise renewal with the City of Lloydminster this week, which grants ATCO rights to provide natural gas distribution service to consumers. The agreement comes with a maximum of 10 years, or a minimum of 10 years rather, and a max of 20 years, unlike the original fixed term of 10. Some details include a franchise fee of 25% of ATCO's revenue and a provision for requesting extra services. One question brought forward at Council was about high transmission costs.
We have a lot of people in the community on fixed incomes, and they look at those costs and they go, well, what do I do? Well, even if they use less, then those transmission costs are still fairly significant.
Diachuk hopes that in the future, costs will be more easily explained.
Or the distributor would be able to say, your costs are here for the fuel, but the fact that we have to add more power lines and gas lines is over here, so you could more correctly represent those costs.
The current agreement expires as of January 1st, but remains in effect until renewal or termination. Well, Bud Miller Park in the winter is usually known for its walking trails and solitude, but last weekend that was not the case. Ryan Craig explains.
Quiet, cold, calm. These words usually describe Bud Miller Park on any given winter day.
I'm walking from the entranceway area of the park in towards the tennis courts, and I can hear off in the distance through all my headgear and the whole bit. I could still hear this motor engine running in some way.
What Sandy heard was a snowmobile pulling into the baseball diamonds.
I had my phone handy enough that I was able to take a bit of a video of it.
Open fields such as the one seen here in Bud Miller Park can be a very big attraction for snowmobilers, but as City Police states, people need to take caution.
Those parks, they're not meant for motorized vehicles. So if you have a skidoo, I know there's a lot of fresh snow out there and people want to get out in those, but those are prohibited in the parks.
Not only do snowmobile motorists need to be cautious of where they're operating, but police want them to be prepared.
It's great to go out and have fun, but make sure that you're always, being careful when you're crossing the roads. If you're sledding with a group of people, make sure that you all understand where you're going, how to get there, and appropriate riding behaviors.
Ryan Craig, Newcap News.
On Monday, City Council proclaimed February to be Aboriginal Story-Telling Month in Lloydminster, a month dedicated to telling stories of Indigenous past and create a dialogue of truth and reconciliation moving forward. As we see in this week's Beyond the Classroom, the Public School Division is not only getting their students involved, but they're also inviting the community to take part too. After taking part in a traditional smudging ceremony, Mayor Albers announced that Lloydminster will recognize February as Aboriginal Storytelling Month.
It's incredible, the relationship that's been there since the days of Treaty 6. We stand on Treaty 6 territory. We have a relationship with the Aboriginal and Indigenous people of this country, and it's important as a municipality. We play an important part.
Throughout February, the school division will not only be getting their students involved, but taking their efforts into the community.
We kind of got started thinking about Storytelling Month and thinking how can we bring in opportunities for students to learn about truth and reconciliation, and then that kind of grew into how can we also encourage our community to engage in dialogue about truth and reconciliation.
LPSD staff and students are inviting members of the community to take part in story activities, starting with a blanket ceremony on February 13th and ending with a documentary screening and a feather art display made by community members on the 27th.
We're really excited to be able to bring in people so our students have experiences, but also for our students to now become the storytellers and share their stories with our community as well.
Stories are a great way to learn, and that's traditionally how our First Nations people have learned for hundreds and hundreds of years.
For young advocate Miquan McAdam, she hopes the month will bring awareness and educate today's youth about the history.
We're on Treaty 6 territory, and being a part of that, there's so much history, and there's not enough youth involved, and I think it's very important to, being a part of that and being a part of the history and giving back almost and sharing what it was like for us to the non-Indigenous people.
It's important that in the region we have a chance to talk about truth, and we have a chance for people to share their truths, and we open a dialogue on what is reconciliation.
For a culture that's endured so much pain, Aboriginal Storytelling Month is a way to shed light on the positive.
There was a lot of stuff that happened and a lot of negative in the history of Canada, but there's also a lot of beautiful things.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, Lloydminster's Junior B Bandits are rolling. The team is slowly creeping back into one of the top 5 spots in the league. And as Lance Phillips shows us, it's due in large part to the contributions of one of the Bandits' last line of defense.
Since a 4-0 loss to St. Paul on January 6th, the last defeat of an 8-game losing streak, the Bandits have played like a team possessed. A 7-1 win over Vegreville Tuesday gave Lloydminster its 5th win in 6 games, outscoring teams 33-16 over that span.
We have a lot more confidence in our room. When going into other rinks, when we're on that slide, you can just tell everyone was just thinking we're getting the loss. And of the last few games, everyone's happy. We're patting each other on the back. Good conversations on the bench. It's an all-around better attitude with the team.
They're not giving up. We're not swinging by pucks and starting to stop and start again, and you can just see the life coming back into the guys, and they're competing, and that's the biggest thing.
A reason to be happy has been the play of Bandits goaltending. Once again, Brooks was superb Tuesday and has been that guy for a team that's struggled defensively.
Any puck that I can get, I'm going to try and do the best I can. Our defense since the start of the year, I have a lot more confidence in them. I can see for everyone has improved.
He's a key part of our team. I mean, we wouldn't have the success we have without him. He's a super big part. He's a leader in the ice, or leader in the dressing room on the ice. So we look up to him. We look forward to what he has to say, and we expect a good game out of him every single night.
You know, Danton's held the fort down and been left to kind of do a lot on his own at certain times.
Of the Bandits' remaining 5 games, 3 are against teams ahead of them in the standings, beginning with Lac La Biche Friday, a club that's given Lloydminster difficulty, and the only team to beat Lloyd in the current 6-game stretch.
They're tough, man. They're a good team, and they have our number right now. They bullied us a little bit, and it's probably the only team that's pushed us around a bit.
I think if we can stay out of the box a little bit and play our own game and not try and get into their stuff, I think we stand a chance against them.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
Well, a local junior hockey player recently had a rare opportunity to showcase his skills to some familiar faces in a place close to his heart. Eric Friesen reports.
Spruce Grove Saints forward Parker Suretsky was born and raised in Wainwright. Last week, he was back playing in front of family and friends for an AJHL neutral site game in the community rink he grew up skating on.
It's been a long time coming. It's been 5 or 6 years. You know, the support from Wainwright as a community, you know, was awesome. When I heard about the game, I was ecstatic. Like the support we got from family, from friends, from people just seen around the rink, it was awesome.
Suretsky's memories of playing minor hockey in Wainwright started to come back to him when he stepped out onto the ice.
So many good experiences, so many memories in this rink, just whether it's skating with the team or playing on that playground or doing whatever, you know, it's a great place to be, and I loved every moment of it.
He started here, and some of his goals are now coming to light, and to share it with the people in town. And he's got lots of friends, and we have lots of friends that almost are like family in town. What a wonderful experience.
The 18-year-old has taken a significant step forward in his 3rd AJHL season, emerging as one of the Saints' top scorers. Suretsky has worked hard for everything he has achieved, but knows he wouldn't be where he is today without the love and support of his parents.
They've done so much for me, whether it's driving me to the rink, contributing finances, just being someone to talk to when I need it. You know, it's been a great experience, and you know, they've gave me every tool to succeed, and I'm just trying to use them as best I can.
Eric Friesen, Newcap Sports.